Welcome back. My name's Kieran Siemens and I do this inky channel where I draw every day. Now, if you want a nice quick video, this is not going to be the one, because this is where I just do daily work. This is where I'm going to be doing an illustration for today. So if you want something a little bit quicker, there's lots more of the other videos that are going to be a lot more short. You might enjoy them better. And if you want a little short, little snappy, they'll be on there as well. So, but if you're in the mood for just kicking back and just watching something nice and slow happen, this is for you. Okay? So, here's a day in the life of me. Okay, well, welcome back. Now this is going to be a little bit more of a day in the life. It's going to be a little bit slower. Well, hopefully not too slow. This is where I do my daily work. So what you will see will be my daily work. I mean, it's what I do. And I'm hoping that you'll get maybe a little bit more of an insight into me and what I do and how I put my actual daily work together. I mean, these are illustrations that are used and in production, and in most cases, I say in most cases, in all cases, they are used by companies, or I can just hear an ice cream van. What's an ice cream van at this time of night? Maybe he's just going home, maybe. And what it does is it gets me to try and show you a little bit of me. This is when all the cameras are turned off and all the fancy super fast drawing and everything is done. This is me. This is me every night. And this is me trying to kind of come up with something that has been on the books for a while. It's an illustration for someone, and I haven't really been able to capture what I want in the drawing, and it's kind of strange for me to say, because, you know, I kind of feel like I can kind of draw anything at any time, but it's a very different thing when you actually have to draw something to please somebody else. Now, my style of drawing is rather crazy, and sometimes that craziness and that kind of drawing it in one moment, in one style, in one swing of the brush, is sometimes a very difficult thing for people to understand. So I do find sometimes it's kind of like people look at your crazy drawings and stuff like that, and then when it comes down to you actually producing something, then I think sometimes they kind of don't want it to be as crazy. But that's not really the way that my mind works, you know. So sometimes it's very kind of complicated to kind of, you know, I can't really do a drawing and then fix it. that just doesn't happen with me. I would rather redraw the whole drawing again. And I'm going to do this now, and I'm going to probably regret it, but probably no. Probably. You see, now I have to be also a little bit kind of careful. I need to be a little bit more restraint. Yes, yeah. A little bit more restraint, because I have to make something into a dynamic piece of artwork, and I need to capture that. And that sometimes can be a very difficult thing, you know, if you were to see an artist that you love that is a very expressive, and he might go whoosh, boom, blash, you know. And then when it comes down to the final piece, you have to catch that excitement in one time. Because every time I put down my pen, it has seized a moment, you know. It is giving something very expressive. And once I've done a line, I've done a line, you know. And that sometimes is very difficult to kind of you know, I've got this character to draw here at the moment, and I kind of know how I want it to look. I'll tell you what came into my head when this came in. Have you ever seen, probably back in the old days of, there was a cartoon, well no, it wasn't a cartoon, it was a kids TV show, and the character in it was called Hartley Hare. And there was a monkey in there. What was the monkey called? Top Off. The monkey was called Top Off. And I loved this really scary rabbit in there. Or hare. He was called Hartley Hare. And that is really how I saw this character. And but you know, is that how the client saw it? Probably not. But so this is an illustration. This is how I would work with companies and clients, and so I do have to be a little bit more careful with my line work. I have to be a little bit more, I don't know, I hate to say restraint, because I don't really feel it's restraint, but I do feel like it is. I need to be a little bit more careful about how the character comes across, because obviously it's going to be painted up and it's going to be shown forever. I hope so. I hope it's going to be shown forever. Yeah. I hope it'll become a famous image one day. So the character is a hare, and in my mind, it's quite a crazy hare. Not already. I mean, obviously there's lots of little splashes there, but they will be cleaned up later on. And I love this idea that this hair is slightly crazy, you know. It's got such a lovely, excitable feeling to him. And now this hair actually is in a story. So I have to be a little bit kind of careful about how I describe him, because I can't just make it all up. He is in a story and I have to make him fit. Now I do like this feeling here of his head being almost like a triangle. It gets this excitement. Now, part of the lovely feeling of Hartley hair was the fact that he had these kind of buck teeth, and they were really kind of gnarly, horrible looking teeth, and that was such a powerful kind of part of his character. And I love how my line work is always slightly unpredictable. It's a little bit irregular in certain ways. And I do feel that helps a lot with these characters. Let's get a little bit more of that out. Lovely. Now that has a absolutely delicious feeling already. I'm so pleased with that. I can't really say who this is for at the moment, because obviously I don't know how people will react. Okay, so that line there will be removed. And I love this idea of him having these kind of savage lips almost. Okay, so that's got a very nice feeling to it. And his tongue. And I love the idea of him having some kind of deep black part to his throat. That's quite nice. Now, the problem with a lot of my drawings is that if I do this drawing and you don't like it, I don't want to fix it. I want to draw the whole thing again. I know it sounds a little bit crazy, but I don't think I can kind of capture that excitement, that kind of character. I don't think I can capture it if it's being repaired, you know. So there's something very beautiful about drawing something fresh, capturing it in a moment. And sometimes that's very, very, very difficult. I've got him kind of wearing this kind of waistcoat type feeling. And the waistcoat kind of comes in with this feeling of him being some kind of folk hero almost. So this is me every night, just sitting and drawing, trying to get customers, trying to get commissions. And I think people give me commissions because there's an excitement there in the line, in the drawing, in the expression. And I think that is something that is part of the beauty, I think, in the final drawing. Now I'm going to kind of give him some kind of necktie. I kind of feel that gives a nice twist to the character. Now, like I said, I've already drawn this a few times, and I've drawn different heads. And what was the other head? Did I draw another head? Yeah, look, there was another head that I drew there as kind of like a test, and I wasn't so sure about the kind of square jaw. So I kind of got into this more of a triangle type feeling for the jaw, and I feel that kind of works better. And again, it's a lot of this kind of goes from a feeling. I feel he should be this. I feel he should be posed like this. And that's sometimes not always what the person who's commissioning it is thinking, you know. So there's a lot of kind of to and fro in there with. But like I said, if I like to capture it in one time, I like to capture it in a fresh drawing. I find that quite exciting. And if it's wrong, then I'm very happy to redraw it. You know, I'm very happy to redraw it 5, 6, 7, 10, 20 times. If at the end, when you look at it, you feel that's beautiful. And I might actually be tempted to change that. I might actually be tempted to draw in some, make that part of the, I will change that afterwards. And that happens, you know. Sometimes you'll get to a point where you have to adjust certain things. I don't like that line, and I don't like the idea that that is. So I've brought the scarf over the top, the hand. Now hair has quite a large kind of paw almost, and that is very exciting for me. And I would love your comments. I would love to know how you think about my drawing style, or the way I approach all these different commissions, and you can't really see his ears there, but I would like to make them a little bit longer, so I might redraw this again, but being something bigger. You know, a lot of times when I'm doing these type of commissions and things, I do wish that I was doing a piece of paper that was so big that, because so many times you're drawing something, that doesn't work. Oh, that's too short. Oh. I actually learnt a very, very cool drawing style from a friend of mine when I worked at Disney. Paul, if you're watching this, and he taught me a way to kind of to draw things and put, you know, almost like if you didn't like the paw, you could tear off a piece of paper and put a new piece of paper down and then draw it on top, and then you can see that repair on the drawing, you know. So you've got a little piece of paper just where the foot was wrong, and you redraw the foot, then you can kind of look at it and see that, see that, see that, see that. And it's a very good way to repair artwork. And I learned that at Disney. I learned that from now a very good friend of mine, and I still do that. I still do it to this day. You know, even if I'm sketching, you know, I'll kind of sketch an idea. I'll sketch an idea on a piece of paper. Let me see if I got a piece of paper. So if you're drawing something, let me get a pen. For example, you're drawing a man, okay? Can you see that? And you're drawing a man, and you're happy with this part of the man, but he's got this hand, and the hand is too thin, and you think, oh, that hand spoils it. Can you see that? Then what you would do is you would put a piece of paper down over the hand, like that. And then what you can draw is you can draw a better hand, like that. Sorry, this is a little bit backwards. Draw some fingernails on it. Oh, that's much better. And then you can look at your new hand and look at your old hand. Oh, yes. And then you've got that. So when you copy your drawing down, can you see what I've done? And that's the style that I was talking about how to repair your artwork. And it's a fantastic way. And that was from my Disney friend who taught me that. Paul, thank you very much. It's a trick that I have kept with me for years and years. Bringing that arm in there now. Now there will be an instrument in his hand. At the moment, I'm not going to draw that. So that will come down, and that will be part of the body. Now, as I'm drawing, I'm thinking about it as a finished piece. So I'm thinking about the proportions, what is right, what is wrong, maybe change the ears. And this is a very good way to know that once this drawing is finished, I already have 3 or 4 things that I didn't like about it. So it's kind of like a pre-run. Does that make sense? So that when I draw this again, with all the fixes, right, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to fix that, I need to fix. So that will be a very, very good way for me to repair my artwork. Trying to get a nice thick line down there to divide it, to break that. And that's got quite a wild feeling to his face. The expression is very wild and very expressive. And I love that kind of diamond shape to his head. So when I redraw this, I will be thinking, right, proportions, right, I love the skinny body. The head is fine. Maybe I could bring that shoulder in a little bit. So the diamond shape, the googly eyes, I love that. I love that wildness about him. And that gives you a lot of kind of premise for when you draw it the second time round, when you draw it as a revised idea. And don't get too complacent with stuff. Don't get too happy with stuff. I mean, you know, I find a lot of times when people are drawing things, you kind of draw something and you're almost kind of like forcing yourself to like it. You're kind of convincing yourself, oh, but that bit's beautiful, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it? Don't you think that's nice, isn't it? You know, and you're kind of like getting to a point where you're not being fair to yourself. You know, you've got to get to a point where you kind of drawing something, and at the same time you're thinking about how is this going to look? You know, would you be happy with this drawing in a year's time or something, you know? Are you going to be happy to you know? And I think sometimes you need to look at it in a very constructive way. You need to step back, look at it and think, yes, I like that. Right, I don't like that. Right, I like that. Oh, that's cool. And then you can start to, in a way, you're almost kind of like helping yourself to improve, because next time round when you're doing a drawing, you'll be thinking, right, I remember when I drew that and I had that problem. And now it's very, very late here at the moment. Mr. Mura's already asleep. He's already asleep. And very soon, so will I. But I have to get myself happy with this wild hair that's coming through here. It's got to please me. It's got to excite me, you know. It's got to excite me in the same way that hopefully it's going to excite other people to when they see this, you know. That's the goal. That's the aim. For somebody to look at it and think, oh wow, look how excited that hair is. Look at those long legs, or you know, whatever. And you can see there I'm trying to vary my line. It's something that I do quite regular. I try to see a difference between the thickness there and the thickness there, for example. And that always, again, it's something that excites me about the way the lines fall on something. It gives me a lot of excitement to see. Again, bringing that lovely long foot back in there. And that is really pleasing for me. I can see, as I step back, as I'm looking at it, I can see that the body has got to have a color divide there. It's got to have something. There's too much space there. It's too open. It's too boring. It's too bland, you know. And that needs to be something that you're also aware of. You're looking at it and thinking, how could I fix that? How could I? And that will be a lovely thing to fix up. Again, I love the way that these feet are coming together. They've really got this lovely loose feeling to them. Again, it's something that kind of helps to give him that hair-like feeling. Now, I really want to have a very big bushy tail, but before that, I've got to silence my complaining mind and get something there. You see what it's doing there? It's dividing the colors. Now, I've got to get in somewhere about here. Now, I want that to be a very distinctive part of his character, that this huge big bushy tail is back here. Just adding some extra texture there to the, so that it doesn't get confused by the body. That's lovely. Right. Now I can see already from this where I need to fix something, where I need to repair it. Now this is something that you should not avoid when you're doing an illustration for somebody. It's different when you're doing like sketches, like I do the sketches for videos and stuff like that. that's fine. You've got a little bit of play there with it, you know. It'd be nice to give him some little claws. It will give him such a lovely part to his character, having these big wild claws coming off. Now there's a lot of excitement in that, and I love his energy. And the claws help a lot, don't they? Do you feel that? You can, yeah, you can see. I might just make the ears longer. I do feel that they need to be longer. And I might just for this one, I might go in and do that kind of Disney trick of the repair. I might just put a piece of paper over that and see if I can just fix those ears, because the ears are not really, they're a kind of secondary part to the body. I love the hunched over feeling. That's got quite a nice wild feeling to it. That's nice. I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased. And it's only taken us, what, half an hour. It's taken us half an hour to draw this. And from that we can see a lot of ideas that we're thinking about here. Are we happy with this? Are we happy with that? And this is a very, very good practice. I really wish more people would do this. It's like, don't be so happy with your first attempt at something. You know, do a few sketches, do a few ideas, work it out in your mind. What is important in this? His expression is very important to me. Very important. Because the expression is going to say everything about the whole piece. And when it's an illustration, make sure that your name is visible. On some of the drawings that I do during the day, sometimes it's not very visible, but it's okay. But once it's like on a piece that's going to be around for a while, make sure it's seen. Make sure people know who's done it, because these type of things can be sitting around for years, and then somebody see it and somebody say, wow, who did that? And then you've got another piece that comes from that, and I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy with the structure of it. I'm very happy with the way that has come through there. I might even just go in, if I'm very gentle, I might even do some. Quite nice. So there we are. There's a very good kind of walkthrough of what I go through on a daily, with an expression that is done in a very fast way. It probably is very fast for you, but the thing is that this is a part of a journey. You might draw this to get that fresh line, to get that fresh feeling in the drawing. You might draw it 4 or 5 times, and don't be shy about that. I've already drawn this a few times. I've already drawn it a few times, and I'm kind of looking at one and I'm thinking, I like that about that. I like that about this one. I like that about this one. And then sometimes you'll look at another one and then you'll think, you know what? It really needs more this. It really needs more of that. Just adding a little bit more of a beard to him. I love that kind of scraggy beard feeling. I think that does help with the character. So generally I'm very pleased with it. I'm very pleased with the pose, the way he sits, the way he's holding that instrument and the way he's playing. I will fix the ears, but it's quite possibly another redraw. But don't worry about it. It's only a drawing at the end of the day. It's only a drawing. So don't get so passionate about it. Otherwise, what will happen is when you do a drawing and then you put it forward for somebody and they say, oh, you know, I don't like it. You're going to be like, what? What do you mean you don't like it? But. You know, you can't be like that. You've got to be really fresh with it. You just go, yeah, cool, man, whatever. You know? Yeah, actually, you know what? I really quite enjoyed drawing that. So, yeah, if you want me to draw it again, that's no problem. That's the way you got to approach it. Because I'll tell you what, when you do draw it 3, 4, 5 times, the final result, you'll be thinking, I'm so happy you didn't like it. I'm so happy you didn't keep that one. I'm so happy that now I have this drawing. And this is so much more expression in it. It's pushed me so much further. So, that is my test for today. I will check it out tomorrow and see what I feel. At the moment, I can't judge it, and you shouldn't judge it so early on. Don't judge your artwork instantly. And it's a big problem with a lot of people. You get too quickly in there. I just I need more. And if you start to judge your artwork too quickly, you will definitely regret it. So give it time. Draw it until the point where you're happy with it. And I think I'm quite happy with that. I'm pleased with that. For tonight's drawing, I'm pleased with that. It gets stuck at the top there, sorry. So, good points and bad points. Okay, so look at your artwork. Don't fix it. Don't get. Now, I'm quite happy with now the way that collar's come around. I'm happy with the shoulder up. I'm happy with the shape of the head. I'm not happy with the ears. I do feel the ears need to be redrawn. So, what are we taking to the next level, the next version of this drawing? We are very happy with the base. We are very happy with the pose. Very happy with that long leg that kind of gives us that hair feeling. The very big bushy tail at the back kind of gives him that character. And the expression on the face, I'm very, very pleased with that. What we'll do is, if we do redraw this again, what we will do is we'll start to plan out. And you will have to plan out some of the details. Okay? If, for example, in this case, he's playing an instrument, don't draw it blind. Okay? Do go in and put out a few little guidelines there about where's the base of the instrument, where's the neck of the instrument. In that pose, okay, I've got the hands there. Cool. So, roughly draw that in, just very lightly, just as an indication. Still keep that freshness when you're drawing. Yeah, even the instrument, when you're drawing all the little details, do it fresh. and it will look better. So we've got a lot of good stuff coming from there. Still a few little things I'm seeing that's very, very light there. Lovely. As I said, it's very late here at the moment. It's very late here. Mr. Miro is already asleep, but I just can't stop. I'm so excited by this piece. It's just going to be so beautiful when it's done. And I haven't even got to the color stage yet. And yeah, the color will be lovely. Lovely. Just a little touch more just to darken them up. And there we have it. A lovely first run sketch. A sketch. In effect, it's a sketch. It's putting it down, putting all the elements down, feeling how everything will be. Then that way you've got a lot more to work from the next stage. So if you're going in and you're redrawing the head, what did you not like? Think about it. Work it out in your head. So almost like redrawing it in your mind. So when you come down to draw it, all those elements and all those things you've talked through and what you did like and what you didn't like will help you to prepare for what the next stage of this drawing is. So that's enough. Go to bed, okay? I will go and give Mr. Miro a big cuddle now because he's probably lying there going, where are you? And so what I'll do is I'll go and sit on the sofa now and he will jump on me. I tell you, he's going to jump on me. So that was a beautiful little walkthrough on a day-to-day what my life is, okay? So a day in the life of Kieran Siemens. Here it is, okay? This is away from the cameras. I know you're a camera, but this is away from the doing the sketches, doing the drawings for the channel, you know, which is a very different thing. This is an illustration. This is a final piece. This is a step. You know, when you're doing these illustrations, do it 3, 4, 5 times. Please do. And you will find that the more you draw it, the more you feel it. The more you feel it, the better that drawing is going to be. Okay? So, I'm off to bed. With Mr. Miro, we're going to cuddle up. We'll probably sit there for half an hour and just, you know, we'll talk through our day. I'll talk to him about my day. He'll tell me all about his day and we'll have an easy night. All right, so thank you very much for being there. Thank you for sharing your time with me. It's a very long video today, but it's a day in the life. A little snippet for you, okay? If you like the longer videos, maybe we'll do some more. We'll see. Right, good night, and I will see you again tomorrow for more drawing. Thank you for being here. I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.